Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing The Owl House Season 2, Episode 8. And I will do spoilers, but really quick, let's do spoiler-free. So, spoiler-free, this episode was actually pretty good. Pretty funny, kind of wholesome, and just a good episode all around. And that ending, that ending. That's gonna cause problems in the future. But there is some good stuff that happened this episode, which is actually pretty interesting. And I wonder if one thing will affect another character eventually. I know that one thing will affect another character, but I'm wondering if one thing that happened to to Ida necessarily will affect her sister, but I can't really get into that without spoiling it. But anyways, really good episode. It was really good. It was one of the better episodes of season 2, and we get to learn a lot of details and stuff from the past. So yeah. Anyways, spoiler alert.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
So, spoiler alert. So this is all about Hooty writing to his pen pal, of course, Ida's sister. What's her name? I forgot her name. I forgot her name, but whatever. Of course, he's writing to Ida's sister and telling her how he's a genius and he helped everybody because she sent him a message saying hey, you're. Like, he was talking about, how everybody went on journeys and stuff, but he never did, and he felt left out and stuff. But she's like, no, you help people, because you're a Hooty. So he's just like, you're right, and I will help these guys. So he goes after King first, and King is going through, seems like puberty, I guess, or monster puberty. His voice is getting all cracky and stuff. It's pretty funny. But yeah, he goes after King first to see what kind of monster he is, or what kind of demon he is. And during the process, he can't figure it out, but he figures it out that King has voice powers. I don't know if it's considered magic or whatever, but King can just yell and powers come out of his voice. So that's interesting, I guess. And also, at the end, the demon we saw from last week's episode, I'm pretty sure, he comes and he has a very, very manly voice, and he's pretty big, actually. He comes and he says, hey, give this to King, and then Hooty ends up eating the note. So, that's going to affect something. I assume that's going to be his dad or a relative. Like, maybe a grandpa, uncle, brother, who knows, cousin. But, very interesting little plot there that we got to see him. We got to hear his voice and stuff. And I assume he'll be back eventually. But he wanted King to read this letter. Obviously, King didn't get the chance to, and he might never get the chance to unless he finds it in one of Hooty's owl droppings. So that's a thing, I guess. So yeah, interesting. But Hooty kind of ruins the day at the very end. He did so well, but he kind of ruins the day at the end. Anyways, so he helps King realize that he has powers. And then messes up King's chances of meeting whoever it was until eventually he probably will meet him, but, messes up King's chance to do that. Messes up whatever the letter says. Maybe the letter says to be quiet and to hide because Lord Bellows is after them or something like that. Who knows? Anyways, he helps King do that, but then messes up something for him. He then goes on to help Ida by putting her to sleep with magic drugs. And in her magic drug stupor, we get to learn a little bit more about her past. Like how she attacked her father and ripped out his eye and how she hasn't really seen them much at all, like her family and stuff, because I don't know if she wants to see her father, but we do get to see her father, so I'm assuming that eventually he's going to come back into the picture, and he's probably going to, like, she's probably going to be, like, upset and be like, I'm so sorry I did that to you, and she's probably going to forgive her or something like that. So that's a pretty interesting little detail there. We get to see her father, and we get to see that she basically scratched out his eyeball. We get to see her fight against her owl beast form. We get to see what happened between her and the boy from the man from last week's episode. That they were actually dating at one point, but she was just being too secretive and stuff, and she was just like not accepting help ever. And that's why he dumped her. But she still likes him, obviously. And I think that there's a chance that at the end of the series they might get together again because she still likes him, obviously. But yeah, it was pretty bad that they kind of broke up because she just couldn't tell him her problems, and he just wanted to help. But that's Ida. That's her old Ida. Now she's telling more people her problems and stuff. But old Ida never used to tell him, and that's pretty interesting to see that. That's why they haven't seen each other for such a long time. Eventually, Ida learns how to accept her demon self, sort of thing, her cursed self, to the point where she can kind of control it now, and she can turn into a harpy lady, which is pretty funny. And I'm assuming that if she can do it, eventually her sister can also do that. If she gets the right kind of thing, or maybe she's put in the right kind of situation where she has to have control of herself and stuff like that. But this gives Ida some power, not magic power, but physical power. It seems, maybe magic power, who knows. But it definitely gives her some physical power to fly, and it seems like she's a lot stronger in that form. So she's a harpy monster now, which is pretty interesting, and Hooty kind of helped her with that. And then he tries to help Luce with hooking her up with Amity, and he does this funny love boat thing, and Amity, she enjoys it, and then Luce kind of ruins it at the end, because she's just like, oh no, this is too embarrassing. And of course, Amity, she thinks Luce is being like, she's like, oh, you don't like me, okay, I guess this was just Hooty's idea, and you don't like me. But Luce obviously does like her, but she just thought that was too corny and stuff. And at the end, there's a wholesome moment where they both ask each other out. It's pretty wholesome. And then Amity, she helps Luce with her mouse to see more images, and we get to see a brief image of the way the portal was made, sort of. I'm sure we'll get elaborate on that later. But yes, very interesting to see that, and very wholesome to see that they're finally together. And very awkward as well. They're very awkward young teenagers that are together now. But she is learning more about her past as well. I mean, about the way to get home, I should say, not her own past. The way to get home through this guy's past, through this mouse. And it's all thanks to Hooty. But at the end, they said, don't help us anymore because you did it in like you failed upwards. So it's a good thing, but also a bad thing. You failed upwards, which means it's good this time, but it could fail downwards next time. So yeah, very interesting episode. And that last part, where Hooty just swallows that letter. So sad. I'm assuming that letter will come into play later, or the demon that sent the letter will come into play later, and he probably will meet up with King eventually, or Luce, or something like that, or Ida, and he'll be like, I sent you a letter, and they'll be like, we never got no letter. And he'd be like, well, I sent it to your owl friend, and he's just like, and then they'll be like, oh, that's probably why, Hootie. It'll be pretty funny. But yeah, I'm assuming he'll come back in a later episode. Maybe, probably season 2, I would say. But might not be till season 3 even. Who knows? But yes, very good episode. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. I hope you liked this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. That's the best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, friends, stay sane. Peace. Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below. Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look.